Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is John McKinney, and I've been a big fan of Hulk Hogan for years. And man, I'm telling you, when I heard that news last Thursday, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. My wife called me. I was at home. My wife called me, and she said, "Did you hear about Hulk Hogan?" And I said, "What happened?" She said, "He died." And I was like, "No, he didn't." But I mean, I was just in shock. And one thing I want to say to you, Bubba, I was one of those people that kind of badmouthed you over the years because I thought you were the one that turned him in. But after listening to Brooke yesterday, I know you don't know me, but I just want to personally, I feel better if I want to say, I'm sorry I was wrong. I shouldn't have been that way. I shouldn't have told people bad things about you when I didn't even know you. And I was like,
yeah, but I mean, to your credit, bud, I mean, first of all, let's start by saying I want to tell you thank you for your apology. Secondly, I have to put a caveat to that, meaning like, that's the only thing you knew. No, you weren't getting any other information except from, me. And here I am. I certainly have, every right to lie and to try to get myself out of this jam and to make myself look better. So there's no credible source that's saying that, hey, Bubba, yeah, you had some skin in the game, but you were set up a lot. And, you're not the guy that, tried to profit or leak it or sell it. You're guilty of letting your hot wife sleep with your best friend to try to get him out of a funk, and my surveillance system caught it. That's what I'm guilty of. But you didn't know any better. I mean, you didn't have a credible source that said otherwise. So, you had every right to feel that way, sir. And thank you so much for lack of a better term, manning up and picking up the phone and calling me and saying the words that you did, my friend. It means more to me than you know.
I also wanted to say I felt bad as a person because I'm not that type of person. I don't like accusing people of wrongdoings and not knowing the whole story behind it, not knowing you. But I watched the interview you guys had with Brooke yesterday, and I'll tell you one thing: what a woman that girl is.
What a woman. I mean, and she has turned out to be completely opposite of her brother. Her brother is an absolute piece of shiz, but she is one hell of a woman. She's a hell of a wife. She just really, money doesn't matter to her. She doesn't really make a lot of money, but she doesn't need a lot of money. She doesn't want any of her dad's money. She just wanted her dad to rethink marrying this woman in fear that, some kabuki stuff could happen. And I mean, in my opinion, and strictly my opinion, she was right. Her intuition, her woman's instincts and intuition were correct. And, I wish things would have turned out differently, obviously. But hey, bud, well, yeah, enjoy your breakfast. And more importantly, man, thank you for calling me. And I welcome back. Hopefully, a way to you can listen or watch the show on YouTube.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna listen to your show more often. If I have a chance to call in anymore, I'm definitely gonna do that because I've enjoyed your show. I've enjoyed listening to you these last couple of days, and I will say one thing before I go. I know Hogan was awfully close to you, and I want to tell you personally, sorry for your loss. I know he was a great guy and he was a good friend to you. So I hope you get through this difficult time, and I pray for you and your family that you get through this time.
Appreciate it, my friend. Enjoy your breakfast. I look forward to hearing back from you, bud.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, you're on the air. It's Bubba.
Bubba, it's Pro Wrestler 91.
Pro Wrestler 91, how are you, my friend?
Good. Hey, I just want to join in on the excitement, too, because not only is it a huge weight off of your shoulders, but it's a huge weight off of the Army soldiers, our shoulders, too, because of the fact that we've always supported you, and we've had our naysayers come to us like, why do you listen to that guy? And, ain't that the guy that leaked the tape and all that? And you try to explain to them, but, they want to believe the press and the media. So it's a huge weight off of our shoulder. And, Bubba, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that Brooke stepped forward. Even as a fellow wrestler, I'm telling you, that's awesome that she came forward to defend you. and that she still loves her Uncle Bubba. Dude, that brought tears to my eyes when I heard her call you Uncle Bubba.
Yeah,
literally as a fan and as a listener, longtime listener, that brought tears to my eyes when I first heard her. I thought it was an AI joke or something at first.
Well, as you could, when you heard the phone call, you could tell that listen.
Choke.
I don't get locked up. I don't get locked up a lot where I don't know what to say. Like, I mean, I keep it moving,
right.
And I was like nervous, locked up, scared, unsure.
Right.
Like so many emotions to the point where I couldn't put together thoughts or sentences. I was.
You don't know what to say. You don't know what to say, and you're afraid you might say the wrong thing.
And I was grasping when she said it's Brooke, and one of her nicknames we used to call is Brooke Teeny.
Brookie.
Brooke Teeny or Brookamania.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of stuff, and so like for instance, Linda's nickname was Big Thick. Because she had big thick ass. So, but like when in the first 10 or 15 seconds, I was trying to wade through just an absolute gauntlet full of emotions as to where's this going, why is she calling it, is it real? Remember, during when we did that roast, Brian got me with a Hogan AI.
Yeah,
and
right.
So I'm like,
that's why I thought it was AI.
So did I. I was like. I was just locked up.
But Bubba, I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you got closure, dude. I felt the emotion. That show will go down in history, dude. It's going to go down in history. I'm sure you're getting more subscribers, too, now that people are learning the truth. You're getting old, people that dropped off, you're getting them back. I mean, dude, this could be Bubba 2.0, man. I'm telling you.
That with the documentary that's dropping in 4 weeks.
And that reminds me about your documentary. You should add that. I know it's probably too late, but you should add that at the end, where you have Brooke's voice on there at the end, where it, where you're vindicated. At the very end, you hear it from the horse's mouth.
I can't. It's too late. It's already been sent to the aggregators. The people that are gonna have it are downloading it right now and doing the closed captioning. So we were like 4 weeks ago from making any changes. Not we, they obviously asked me if I wanted to make any changes with what I said, and I didn't. But oh my God!
Well, I really can't wait to see it now.
So yeah, well,
this
listen,
this makes me want to see it even more.
Yeah. So listen, man, it's going to blow your mind.
Man.
Thank you, my friend. You have a great one. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Senator Gus Travis, 50.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you, I listened to most of the Brooke Hogan call yesterday, and it really warmed my heart to hear that you finally got some sort of vindication from all this stuff. Because I'll be honest with you, for a little bit there, until you started explaining things back in the day, I wouldn't say I hated you, but I didn't listen to you.
No.
Until you started explaining things and just exposing how much of a piece of crap the other radio host in this town is and how much of a hack he is. And just
who by the way has my job, and I just
I can't stand him.
I just can't understand how a huge corporation like that, who knows the truth, who wrote a $52 million check, would continue to let that guy, be who he is and give him the opportunity to. It blows my mind. They fired me, put him in there, and then found out that he was the guy that did. Oh my God! It's just whatever.
Exactly, and I know you had a lot to do with that whole sex tape thing, but if you and I were friends and you offered me your wife, I wouldn't do that as a friend, because that just, for me, that would just be wrong. And I'm not saying anything bad about Hogan. It just, I can't believe that he did that.
Well, we're not going to get into that. He was at a very dark part of his life. Me and my wife had an open relationship, and I was like, listen, give Hogan some nice ass. To help him be in a better mood, and quite frankly, let's be honest. She was hot. She was very sexual.
Oh yeah.
And I feel for her too, because this it doesn't make me look good, but it also doesn't make her look good. I've not remained friendly or remained in contact with her since this. Anytime she has an opportunity to take a hack at me, she does. There was a time for a while when I lost my job in 2014 where she actually was tweeting Mike Calta and like being his friend and saying, I heard there's a final nail that's needed in a coffin, and like she was very like, I don't understand why she would do that. Anyway, to each its own. The documentary is going to go through all of that, and hopefully you buy it or rent it. I think it's going to be. I think you're going to be able to buy or rent it, and it's going to be available on all types of different platforms, and including, I think I might have it up on our YouTube channel as well for people to get. So nice. Some people can go just right to my YouTube channel and get it. I think I actually have a meeting with the documentary people today. To kind of finalize the distribution of it. So, and start booking some podcasts to start promoting it. So God, it was like almost the Brooke call really, really, unlocked a whole bunch of stuff. And I haven't got a win, sir, in a long time. I've been taking L's since the day that tape got leaked on the dirty March of 2012. I've been taking L's for 13 years, and maybe, just maybe, Brooke Hogan unlocked the W's for me. Remember, Lummy, for the first 3 years, the Buccaneers were like 0-26?
Horrible, yes.
And that's me. I'm the expansion Buccaneers, and I'm about ready to get my first win, buddy.
Bubba Creamsicle.
Anyway, sir,
well,
appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
Hello, you're on the air with Bubba.
Hey, Bubba, it's Bob. So I've had a chance. I've been home and been trying to just rest, and I've listened to the Rumble broadcast of her calling in 3 times, and I've cried every single time, Bubba. Like, it has not been easy. I've been a ride or die fan of yours since I was a kid and listening to Power Pick, and it has never been easy to be a Bubba the Love Sponge fan. 50% of the population is always going to hate you, and then when the sex tape came out, 90% hated you.
Yep.
Hated everyone and their fans, and it's never been easy. And this isn't just vindication for you, Bubba. This is vindication for every fan and all those ham and eggers that are in the Rumble chat, that are hanging there with you and always will, and the serious listeners. We love you, and like there is a population around this area and all over the nation that follows you because you are the man, and we knew better. And it just, I cried like a freaking baby, man. And like, I'm talking like weeping. And we all needed it, it's just tough, man. And we pull for you every day, and we know you're getting older, and we know like Tyler and all that, man. And this is what we all needed. And we're proud of you, brother, and we love you.
Well, I'm really, really, really taken back by your phone call, and more importantly, I think you made an interesting point. As hard as it is to be me, it's even harder to be a fan because most of I'd say 50%. I think your numbers were back in the day 50% people hated you. Now 90% people hate you. And when you wear that Bubba Army shirt or you got that Bubba Army sticker on your truck, you instantaneously are opening yourself up to a guy seeing you at the gas station and saying, "Why in the hell would you ever?"
Cold, you support that Coco Bush, man?
Yeah.
Listen, understand the truth. Pull the police report. See that Spice is the rat bastard that pulled all this in Calta, and man, it's just, and nobody will listen. Nobody believes you. Oh, that's one report. I could see with my own eyes. Like, man.
Or they'll come back with, bottom line is Bubba taped it. He should never taped it. So I mean, there's all the nays. Listen, and you know what? They're probably right. But you know what? At least when the documentary comes out, Video Killed the Radio Star. Tuttle and Lummy, who have both seen it, says there's another twist to this thing that's gonna really, really, really blow your mind. Like, I don't even want to allude to who the other person that's involved or that they were trying to target is, but that person's far larger than me.
You mentioned it.
Yeah.
Iggy McGillicuddy,
you mentioned
20.
it on your Clement Kush.
Well,
Steven, $10.
no, if I did, don't say it then. So
I'm not. I knew then that's why you said it on Clement Kush.
yeah. So hey, bud, thank you so much, and you nailed it with regards to as hard as it is to be me. It's harder for the Iggies and the Heather Whizzes and the Zolt 71s and the Sumos and the Jeff Patterson. It's harder to be a fan because you're judged and hated for liking me as well.
Yep, and we would follow you through hell, man, and never give up on you. There's still that group of people out there, and we love you.
I hope you
Tuttle, Lummy,
I hope you gain your composure, sir, by the end of the day.
Listen, you guys.
Thank you for the female numbers too. We need those,
buddy. Good talking to you.
You guys have played a role in my life since I was 10 years old, 8 years old. Like, that's cool, Tuttle.
Tuttle's a dick. He's
Bubba,
getting ready to get canceled.
Bubba,
I'm sorry.
See you later, buddy. Hi, who's this?
Eric in Orlando.
Hi, Eric. What's going on?
Hey, Bubba. I've been listening to you, or I had been listening to you back when you were on the Howard and Sirius show there, and was a huge fan then. And then, you know, Hogan was also one of my childhood heroes next to my parents, you know. And when that whole thing went down, I honestly, kind of, you know, was one of the people that kind of blamed you for it. And I just wanted to call in and apologize because up until yesterday, I had lost interest.
You probably, up until yesterday, you probably thought, and listen, rightfully so, because it's not been reported, because it's amazing. You know, yesterday, Brooke's appearance on the show, E! Entertainment, E! Online covered it, Us Magazine covered it, TMZ covered it, People Magazine covered it. I had a couple of British, United Kingdom, London television stations cover it. A German a German television station just got a hold of me, wanted to know if they could use some of the footage. I said yes, but meanwhile, not one shred of local coverage on a very national story on the day that Hogan's being buried, and not an utterance on any television station or on any local, like the St. Pete, the Tampa Bay Times. So it's not your fault, sir, because the local media, the Florida-based media, well, hell, just the media in general, chose not to tell the truth or the real story about the Hogan sex tape leaking. Nobody knows any different. The only thing that you've been exposed to as a former fan of the show is that I did it all. And if that's what, and so since that's the story that everybody knows, you, which I don't blame you, think I'm a piece of crap. Be like that. Why in the hell would Bubba do that to his best friend? I hate Bubba. I'll never listen to that fat ass again. And that's not your fault. That's what you've been told.
And I appreciate that, but most of all, I wanted to apologize because you and Howard were made my day so much. That dynamic between I'm still a huge Stern fan. I listen to it, but you were right up there with him. And I was sad when you went away from satellite radio, but also when the whole thing with Hogan happened, it devastated me more than. Loss of my childhood hero, and that's what I was been kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you grew up, with Howard and me, and, you held us in the highest regard. You've remained a Howard fan, and you're like, man, Bubba really screwed up his career. He really did, his best friend dirty. I just can't back or like a guy that did that backstabbed his best friend like that. So I have been hated and by really good guys like you that really liked me at one time. I was one of your favorite radio personalities and content creators, and you are like, screw him. Let me ask you a question. It was reported, and it says that you still listen to Howard, which that's great. Howard and I have remained friendly. Always get a Christmas card from him. Always get a birthday card from him. Love him. It's reported that Howard's not gonna re-sign on Sirius XM come January 1st. It was all over the news, and I blew in a few phone calls. What would be? I mean, there's only one guy that checks all the boxes that would be able to replace Howard, and that's me. Because
100%.
Because I'm the only person that he ever hand selected that he endorsed, and because Howard's shtick for almost all his entire career has been everybody in radio sucks except me. And that's Howard's shtick. Everybody's a bunch of rip-off artists. Everybody sucks. I'm the trailblazer. I'm the king of all media. And he's right. He is. But when it came a time that he had to pick an afternoon drive, the two most important, in terrestrial radio and in satellite radio and conventional radio, this doesn't necessarily go for streaming, but within the radio world, the two most important day parts are first and foremost morning drive and then afternoon drive. That's where you put your two big heavy hitters. When Howard Stern, whose his entire mantra for his career is everybody sucks. Nobody can even hold a candle to me. When he had to pick his twin tower that was, his afternoon drive guy, there's only one guy he picked, and it was me. Because I was the only guy that he saw had any type of original content or was a good host, and he picked me, and his audience fell in love with me. That's where, our global thumbprint that we have today is solely because Howard put me on for 6 years, his national platform. So there's only one guy, in my opinion, that SiriusXM could bring in that his fans are familiar with and would, quite frankly, probably gravitate to me and be like, listen, you can't, like when they tried to replace him with David Lee Roth and Adam Carolla and all that kind of stuff when he left CBS. It was all a fail. There was all a failure because none of those guys were handpicked by Howard. Howard called them all hacks. I'm the only guy that's been handpicked by him, and his fans know it, and they would give me a chance to win them over, in my opinion.
Not only that, Bubba, but you drew audience. My radio never left 100 because you were on in the afternoon. I bet if they went and looked at whatever data they have on listenership, they would see that people like that during that, like you said, those 6 years, I didn't even listen to music channels. Like now, when Howard's done with his stuff, I don't even listen to either have the other content, which is great sometimes, or the old shows. But during that 6-year time period, when he had you in the afternoon. I wasn't a big Scotty Farrell fan, but he was good. But it was you and Howard, and I had Howard in the morning on my way to work, and then part of work, and then I would listen to you, and I would stay tuned for your show because the stuff you guys did, you kept our attention after Howard was done. And I would bet they could refer to that. You're right,
and I think
there is no other.
And I think that Sirius, Howard's changed a little bit, and as he's gotten older, he's done things a little bit differently. And listen, I have too. Gone, or you can't have the strippers in here anymore. You can't have all that. You got to get good interviews. You got to be shocking in your opinion of news stories. You got to be, if I had,
but he's got a different team other than Robin. Robin and Fred. He's got a different team around him. He doesn't have the same people that like you have. But it's still you and him at the center of the shows. Yeah. And
so I'm just telling you, man, I wish SiriusXM would consider giving me that shot, because if I did get that shot, I would retain, Richard and Sal. I would see if Gary wanted to stick on. Obviously Fred, Robin, and Howard are gone. Those are the three, show staples that are, for lack of a better term, getting in a little bit older and probably don't want to do mornings anymore. But if I was given that opportunity, I would sit down with SiriusXM management and see who who they would allow me to retain. I would try to retain as much as I could to keep it very Howard feeling. And hell, they could even continue to name it Howard 100. I'll just be the morning guy, with a caveat that Howard can come in and do any kind of if he wants to do a week's worth of shows, I'll gladly take a step back.
But I think from this show though.
But I think that and Howard has changed a little bit, as I have. But I think that maybe
he's got great.
I think, he's got it's right. He's got grandkids, and I think that Howard may have lost that blue collar guy driving a semi, and he may have deteriorated a little bit of his audience, based on just getting older and having different values and things like that. And I think I could retain or get some of those people back. Just based on, the good old days. And I'm still, like this weekend, I'll be on my grader and a bulldozer at the track. So, I'm still, not that Howard is not the common man, but he's not. He's a he's worth $1 billion. And, Howard used to be a little bit more in tune with that dock worker working on the docks of Long Island. And I still think that I resonate with those people. And I think it would be a win-win. And listen, I will never speak an ill word towards Howard. I never have. I'm one of the very few people that left Howard and remained friendly with him. I still get a birthday card. I still get a holiday card. We're still friends. So I think I'm one of the very few that have left Howard, remained friendly with him, and man, if they gave me that opportunity, I think it would be huge for both parties. I think I could move the needle on subscriptions. Let me, like, if for instance Sirius was to pay us enough money, we would probably have to abandon everything and be exclusively on Sirius XM.
Of course.
But, they would make it worth our while. So, and then we could have a YouTube channel and, Facebook where we potentially posted our clips. But if you wanted to hear the show live as it was happening, and I'd probably, quite frankly, have to move to New York as
I'm down.
No, we'll just pipe you in, Tuttle. Tuttle, I don't even know if you make the cut anymore. I don't even know,
See, that's what I was going to ask, because
I don't even know if you make the cut anymore. I mean, I'd be like saying, hey, Tuttle, you're going down to a stunt boy again.
Yeah, I know.
Report to Richard and Sal.
Yeah, see, because when I heard all the people you were talking about, I'm going to keep such and such, and I'm like, oh boy, who's making the cut from the team right now?
True,
like,
I don't know.
Does Gene come along?
Yeah, Gene probably makes the cut.
And
you know what? You probably, Tuttle, you make the cut. You make it.
Could you imagine the type of content that me, Richard, and Sal could do together?
Oh my God! And I'd have you quit your full-time job. I'd put you on salary so that for real.
That would be awesome.
So anyway, I did talk to a Sirius XM person yesterday. I don't know that it's going to go anywhere. I don't know. I think Mr. Scott Greenstein, still does not care for me. I've apologized a million times to him. I really think that Mr. Scott Greenstein, is a very, very, very smart businessman and knows knows the business of Sirius XM. I think deep down he knows I'm a good broadcaster. I think deep down Scott knows that I was handpicked by Howard, and I think deep down when they did, Lummy, they did get ratings. Nielsen Arbitron did a free ratings analysis for them one time when I was there, just to show them like the kind of data they could give them. And at that time I was the second most listened to show in the entire platform. I think Scott knows that data, and I think Scott knows that I could genuinely, I'm a different person. I would first and foremost apologize to him. When we got fired, we obviously that was a whole different time. As Howard has changed, I've also softened up tremendously, and I owe him an apology. I have emailed him several times, but if I could just get Scott to open his mind up to see the potential of what I could potentially do for Sirius XM. They've cut a lot of their talent and concentrated on spending a ton of money on Call Her Daddy and and the Conan O'Brien podcast. But at the end of the day, you're still doing radio, and I still think you need that, male 25 to 54 to pay that subscription every month. And I think it would really, I think I could really move the needle, and I think I could make a huge difference for them. I really do.
I agree. And I got to go, Bubba, but like I said, I wanted to apologize and say thank you for the radio back then. Thank you for, having Brooke on, and also thank you for telling the side of Hogan's story that nobody was telling, and, and being that guy, And again, I apologize, man. I just,
Are you gonna cry?
I'm listening to this, man. Let's wrap it up by saying this. I am honored that you know the truth now from a legitimate source, and more importantly, welcome back, my friend. You know where to find us, our various platforms, and I look forward to having you back as Bubba Army. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I still have my shirt, and I still have my Bubba Army shirt. So.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
He's getting emotional.
I know, me too.